Good afternoon. Sava here from Football Heritage TV. How are we all doing? Is everybody well? It is Wednesday, Champions League day. There's two more Champions League games going on tonight. Bayern Munich at home to Real Madrid, trying to overturn a 3-0 deficit. And you've also got Benfica versus Inter Milan. And Benfica trying to overturn a 1-0 deficit to Inter Milan. Chelsea went out last night, 4-0 on aggregate, 2-0 in both legs to Real Madrid. And AC Milan, 2 1-0 wins against a very, very rated Napoli team. Anyway, we move on. Today, I want to talk to you about English strikers. Now, English strikers have been a rarity, I would say, in the last sort of decade or so. You've had Harry Kane. And other than Harry Kane, there's been a real kind of lack of players that can step into that role, especially a national team that play one striker. Now, the exception to that rule was probably Jamie Vardy, but Jamie Vardy was late to the game in terms of his career. Wasn't that guy that would hold the ball up. He was more through balls running on, but probably a bit unlucky to not have more England caps than he did. So the three strikers I want to talk to you about today are three strikers in, I would say, similar form, to be honest, maybe two more than the other, but three players that maybe haven't hit the consistency in their careers and maybe are now starting to find that. So let me know what you think. And those three strikers we're going to talk about today are Ollie Watkins, Callum Wilson, and Ivan Toney. Now, three very different strikers. They do have a lot of the same attributes, but do very different jobs for their team. Some are the main man, some are rotated. All three of them have scored some goals, some very important goals. So we're going to start with Ollie Watkins. Now, Ollie Watkins is the in-form striker if we take out Erling Haaland. No talk of Erling Haaland today. That's a different story, and he's on a different planet. So when we look at Ollie Watkins, he's currently sitting in 6th in the Premier League goal scoring charts for this season. And if I look at Ollie Watkins, he's played 30 games this season in the Premier League and scored 14 goals, adding another 6 assists. So he's got 20 goal contributions in 30 games. Very good. That's very good for a striker. These used to be numbers that strikers could be proud of until the likes of Messi and Ronaldo broke the mold. But he scored nearly 1 in 2 in the league. 6 assists. It's not the worst in the world. But what's impressive about Ollie Watkins is a resurgence that he's having. 11 of those 14 goals have come in his last 12 games. Most of those goals have come in Unai Emery's tenure. And Unai Emery's only managed Aston Villa in the Premier League for about 16, 17 games. So just under half a season. Ollie Watkins, for me, he's a player, I'll be honest, he's grown on me. And I think I'm very lucky as a Spurs fan. I think one of the things as a Spurs fan that we've been quite lucky with is we've had Harry Kane. So we've not needed to find that out and out 25, 30 goals a season striker in all competitions. It was more about finding a backup. But when I looked at Ollie Watkins, he was never one that I thought, yeah, I'd take him. If I'm honest, I'm just being completely honest. However, he's grown on me in the last couple of years. A willing runner, decent build-up play. I've probably been a bit harsh there. He's got good build-up play. He's always getting into the right positions. But for me, it's been about his finishing. But his finishing in the last 12 games that we've seen is very good. For me, another one of these strikers that has to get consistency. And what I mean by that is this. If I look at Ollie Watkins, in his last 3 seasons, he scored 14 goals, 11 goals, 14 goals. They're decent numbers. So what's that? That's 30 off the top of my head. That's 39 league goals in 3 seasons. That's okay, right? That's okay. What does Ollie Watkins need to do to get that bigger move? For me, I think those 14s need to start becoming 19, 20. And I'm just wondering whether or not we believe he could do that. Let me know what you think. He's 27 now. He's maturing. He's getting better as a player. What's the ceiling for Ollie Watkins? And there's nothing to say he can't get 18, 19, 20 this season. He's still got 8 Premier League games to go, in which if he stays fit, he will play in all 8. And there's nothing saying he can't get another 4, 5, 6 goals. So Let me what do you think about Ollie Watkins? Would you have him in the England side? And when you're commenting, let me know. Who do you support and would you take him at your club, whether it be as the main man, whether it be as a backup striker? What do you think of him? Then if we move to Callum Wilson. Now, Callum Wilson's an interesting one. He's been around for a while. He's 31. Another one, never hit massive numbers in terms of goal scoring, but he's always pivotal to the way that his team plays. Newcastle have always looked, maybe not as much now Isak's joined Newcastle and getting into the flow of things, but they've always looked better, more competent when Wilson is in the team, even if that isn't his goals. It's that hold-up play up front, that willingness to run the channels, that willingness to close down, that experience, that leadership. Now, here's another one. So he's played 23 Premier League games this year. He's got 10 goals and 4 assists. He's had a few injuries, but so far that means he's got 4 contributions in 23 games. So again, he's got a goal contribution more than one every 2 games. So again, not bad stats. Then we look at last year, 8 goals in 18. The year before was 12 in 26. 8 the year before that, 14 the year before that. Now, something tells me, listen, I'm a fan of Callum Wilson. I think Callum Wilson should be in most squads. I think he's a really good pro. I think he comes across really well. He looks like he's got the right attitude, that willingness to run, to work, to fight. But is age against him? He's 4.5 years older than Ollie Watkins. Is that going to stop him getting into future England squads? Does that mean there's no big move for Callum Wilson? I'm not saying Newcastle are not a big club, but in terms of the upper echelons, is he going to get that move? Does he want that move? Is he best suited where he is? The other question I'll ask you before I move on to Ivan Toney is, how do you think that's going to play out with Callum Wilson and Isak at Newcastle? If Newcastle get European football or Champions League football, then they very much got, that's a really annoying fly, isn't it? That'll teach me for having the windows open. Not in this room. Will they rotate? Will both players be happy with rotating? These questions. Would you have him at your club? And remember, let me know who you support. Would you take Callum Wilson? And the last one I want to look at is Ivan Toney. I bet they call him. Again, 27 years of age. He got 33 goals in his first year at Brentford. Now, that was in the Championship. His first year in the Premiership, he got 12 in 33. So not bad. It's okay. It's a decent record. This year, he's gone on to 18 in 29 and 4 goal assists. So he's got 22 goal contributions in 29 games. Now, when I watch Ivan Toney, for me, I think Ivan Toney is a very good centre forward, a little bit unorthodox, runs a bit awkwardly, doesn't always look super in control of the ball, but a very good player nonetheless. Excellent penalty technique, brilliant in the air. His hold-up play is getting much, much better, and he looks good in front of goal. He's the one at the moment that's put himself into the England squad above the other 2. But this is Gareth Southgate. That could easily change. So what would you do? Would you take Ivan Toney? I mean, Spurs fans, would you take him? Liverpool fans, Arsenal, Chelsea, you need a centre forward. Would you take Ivan Toney? What do you reckon? Tell me what you think. Who of that 3 would you have in the England squad? If Kane wasn't about, who would be your number 1 England striker? Would it be someone other than those 3? Maybe a Marcus Rashford? Although not the orthodox centre forward that these 3 are. Not the target man, so to speak. So let me know what you think. I'm always interested to know what fans think about players from other clubs. I think it's really, really interesting. What I would say is this as well. Ivan Toney is one of those players that's worked his way, like Ollie Watkins, like Callum Wilson. What I like about all 3 of them is they all started their careers in the lower leagues. They've all had to work, fight, battle through, scoring goals in League 2, League 1, the Championship, now the Premier League. So hats off to all 3 of you, sirs. Well done. And I would love to know what you all think. Catch you later. There'll be another video very, very soon. Please keep subscribing. We're only about 300 away from 5K now. So help me hit that 5K. And please note, we are also on Spotify. Football Heritage TV. We're on Spotify. So if you do have a Spotify account, please go over and show some love. Thank you very much. And we are out.
hurt. He's got some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now. It's 4.